I'm going to be reading one of Emily Dickinson's poems because I really like her poems, and to me she was a really big mystery. I like to read about her. She was born on December 10th in 1830 in Amherst, Massachusetts. Not much is known about her personal life. She was very smart and wrote hundreds of poems in her lifetime, but fewer than a dozen were published while she was alive. Dickinson's poems were very unique for the era in which she wrote. Her poems included short lines. They usually lacked titles, very unconventional capitalization, and improper punctuation. The poems that were published were always heavily edited, even when she was still alive. The last few years of her life were spent in seclusion. No one seems to know why, but after returning home from a trip, she became very secluded, and people very rarely saw her. During her lifetime, she was known as a woman in white. Whenever people saw her, she was always in white, and after her death, the only remaining clothing was white. No one seems to know why she chose to wear white, and no one really knows anything about her personal life. She was a very private person. Even her family really didn't know anything about her personal life. I'm going to be reading A Light Exists in the Spring. It is one of Emily's religious poems, and it seems to be talking, at first glance, about nature, but it's labeled as one of her religious poems because the light that she talks about in this poem is not like the light you see. It is like Jesus or God. And it just talks about how nature, how scientists cannot overtake it. They can't see it. They can't see it, but they can feel it, and they know it's there. And it just waits for people to come to him. That's what it's talking about. The light exists in the spring. The light exists in the spring, not present on the year at any other period, when March is scarcely here. A color stands abroad on solitary hills that science cannot overtake, but human nature fills. It waits upon the lawn, it shows the furthest tree. Upon the furthest slope we know, it almost speaks to me. Then, as horizons step or noons report away, without the formula of sound, it passes and we stay. A quality of loss affecting our content, as trade and suddenly encroached upon a sacrament. That's A Light Exists in the Spring by Emily Dickinson.